What's going on in the Toronto real estate market? Well, I'm going to give you some honest advice and a recap on what's been happening and where we're standing now and where I think we're headed in 2022. Hi, I'm Jackie Othen, your Toronto Realtor, and if you want to stay up to date with what's going on in the Toronto real estate market, you'll hit the subscribe button down below and turn that bell on for notifications so you never miss an update from our team. Let's talk about the real estate market and where we sit right now in the middle of July. It's no surprise to any of you listening to this. You've probably heard it on the news, you've heard it from other realtors or friends or whispering from neighbors who are for sale and who have not yet sold that we are in a period of adjustment here and things are going to get worse before they get better. That's what happens in an economic downturn. Things continue to get worse until there's a change dramatically, and it's probably going to be across the border and across the country where things will start to improve altogether, and it will be in stages. It's been a long pandemic, and it's no surprise that the war and everything else happening around the world has actually softened the market and real estate in general. But things were getting carried away for a very long time, and sellers were getting used to having things sell on a preemptive bully offer, selling just as the sign went in the lawn, and that's okay that we are now more in a balanced market. But again, are we in for some more pain? My prediction is, as we sit in the middle of July, that things are probably going to get worse until they get better. There might be some uptick and the days on market may be reduced in the fall as sellers come out of the woodwork and have to actually get moving and have to sell their homes. But in terms of pricing, are we going to see it continue to slide down for the next couple of months over the summer? My prediction is absolutely yes. Are there going to be amazing buying opportunities for buyers? 100%, because you're going to find that in August there are people that are on the market that are absolutely desperate and must sell. And if you're a savvy buyer and if you're financially ready, you might be able to swoop in and get a great deal on some properties. For those of you who track the rates, you're going to see that we are up 5% on the average price of a home from last year. And we're also down on the month over month. But if you're sitting there analyzing the month over month and you are a buyer or a seller, I'm going to tell you the month of the month doesn't really matter. It becomes a wash if you're buying real estate for a long-term play, because it's like the stock market, and I say it to clients all the time, you will never be able to catch a falling knife. You're never going to get in on prime opportunity. You've got to figure out when you want to enter, do your very best to look at prices, don't overpay for something, and also scrutinize what you're buying and make sure that it's a good long hold. I would caution, I don't want to say that it's not a great time for flipping houses. It's a great time to flip houses if you know exactly what you are doing and you have a timeline that exceeds 18 to 24 months. You're not going to buy something in 3 months and put it back on the market and think you're going to fool the consumers, because you're not going to fool people. They are watching and scrutinizing data better than ever, and most times there's not enough of a gap or an increase that you can make to make that flip worthwhile. But I'm going to say some of you are still flipping out there and doing a darn good job, but you're the experienced people who have really great realtors on your side helping you get in at the right price. The most important thing you've got to do right now is shop rates. If you're taking a mortgage, you've got to shop the rates. And if you're not taking a mortgage, well, I'm super happy for you. I'm super jealous, and you're doing better than most people. So your change, if you don't need a mortgage, is probably about a life circumstance change. You're going to downsize, you're going to go into some type of assisted living house, or you're going to sell your detached home and move to a condo or a bungalow, and you're going to downsize. So in those scenarios, if you're buying again a smaller house and downsizing your property, the risk of being exposed is far less, because you're probably moving into this next move as a long-term play. You're going to your forever home, you're downsizing, and you're probably going to take still a considerable amount of chunk of change out of what you own going into the next property. But if you are a buy up, if you're coming from a condo or a small home and you're going to your next property, shop rates. Make sure you don't just go to Uncle Benny, who you're used to working with, or a customer you're working with. There's some amazing rates with unconventional banks, sometimes B lenders. You want to scrutinize what's the rate, what's the termination penalty, what happens if I decide to move in 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, what happens there. Get some really great advice. And if you need a recommendation to a lender, absolutely just send us a private message and we'll be able to help you. The most important thing, if I can give one piece of advice to everybody watching this, is to change your mindset and your thinking. Stop thinking short haul, start thinking more long term. So even as you might be a young couple looking to go into a property and you know you're going to be there only for a couple of years, you might be there for 3 years, but you're going to have kids and you're going to outgrow this space and it feels too small. really get granular and try to find a place that you can stick it out for 5 to 7 years, because it's probably going to take 18 to 24 months to come out of the slump. And if we see a further decline, you don't want to go into your new home and panic every month if the market changes and drops. You want to make sure you can be comfortable in that home for at least 5 to 7 years. Pay down your mortgage and accumulate cash, but be ready for that buy up when the market is ready. You can't always time the market. I know some people think they can, but you absolutely cannot time the market. This is about making moves in a downshifting market that need to be made that make sense. So if you're a first-time buyer and you want to get into a home, great, it makes amazing sense to do that. Stop paying your landlord's mortgage, get in, own a piece of real estate, start paying it down. But also don't forget to save. And if you're a buy-up, you're probably feeling crunched in your condominium and you need more space, that is a real reason to move. But look at where you're going and go, can I live here for 5 years? Can I live here for 7? Because that's probably when you're going to have your uptick in cash and it's going to be ready. And if the market recovers sooner and you can bail in 4 years, amazing. And for my downsizers, just remember, don't focus on February prices because those are not coming back for a really long time. Ask yourself, can you hold on for 3 or 4 or 5 more years? If you had to downsize, can you hold on for even 2 years? I know some downsizers, you just absolutely cannot. You're done, you're ready to downsize, you're carrying way too much house, the repairs are becoming overwhelming. Then just run the numbers, get a net sheet, get a realtor who's got experience to help you sell your home and get the highest and best price possible for this market. They're out there, and that's the most important thing I'll leave you guys with, is make sure that you are working with professional, experienced realtors who have a marketing team, who have staging at their hand, who've got people who can help you with home repairs, and who are locked in with an amazing lender and amazing lawyer, because you're going to need it in this market. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, if this video is interesting to you or you found it helpful, give us a thumbs up or post a comment down below.